I'm Charlotte, co-founder of Adornos Boricua, where we promise traditional taste at half of the time. And essentially what we do is that we are presenting and we're featuring our first product, which is organic sofrito. Now, sofrito's a base, is the staple of every Latino cooking. It's the best kept secret. It keeps you from adding any salts, any preservatives, anything that's going to be harmful for your body. It's made of nothing but herbs and organic ingredients. So let's get started. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a tutorial on the best thing that we're known for, rice and beans. And we're going to start with white rice and habichuelas guisada, which is basically habichuelas with a tomato base. Sorry. So let's get started with the rice. Okay, now the rice is one of the most important things in every Latino cooking, and it's the easiest thing. However, it's the one thing that a lot of people get wrong. So with the white rice, what we're going to do is that we're going to preheat our caldero, which is basically a pot. You can use any kind of pot. I like to use the traditional calderos. And we're going to add the rice. Now here I have 2 cups of white rice. I already washed it because you want to make sure that it doesn't have any of the little particles that might come in the bag. And we're going to put it in the caldero that has been preheating. My hands are clean. To this, we're going to add some olive oil. I like olive oil because it's better for you. It's full of antioxidants. It has a lot of good qualities that are better for your body. And it gives it a nice little taste to the white rice. So you hear that sizzle. That sizzle means that it's nice and hot the way it should be. So what a lot of people do is that they put the water already in there. I like to make sure that I simmer a little bit the rice and I get every little grain with the oil. And I don't know, it works for me. It tastes delicious afterwards, so whatever works for you is even better. So you let it simmer a little bit. To this, we're going to add just a tiny bit of salt. Now, I know I started this with saying that, you know, the Adornos Boricua Sofrito doesn't add any salt and it's good for it, but we're not adding the Adornos Boricua Sofrito here. So we need a little bit of salt because otherwise it's going to be bland, and you don't want that. One thing Latinos are not is bland. So we add just a little bit of salt, not much. And I'm going to preheat the rear of my stove because, like I said before, but once we start the white rice and we put all of the ingredients in there, it's all a matter about leaving it alone, put the top on it, and just leave it alone. So one secret that I do have, and one thing that I never understood, is that how moms and abuelas are able, abuela means grandmother, are able to view how, or just to look at the caldero, look at their pot and know how much water to add. I was not gifted like that, and I am a stickler for perfect rice. So what I do is a 1-to-1 in ching-ching, and what that means is like 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of water, and then just about 1/3 of the water so that it can soak in. So we're going to add 2 cups of water because we had 2 cups of rice. I love that sound. The best thing about rice is that with rice you can add it to everything, and if you know just a few little hints of how to make things taste good in very little time, you can have home cooked meals every night. It's much more financially savvy and it's better for your body because you know exactly what you're cooking. So essentially this is done. All we have to do now, I know a lot of people like to put it on high heat so the water can absorb and then they put down the heat. I like to just let the rice do its thing, not even worry about it. I don't want to worry about anything. I just want to make sure that when I open my caldero, the rice is done. So what we're going to do is that we're going to cover the rice and we're going to put it, we're going to put it to the back and we're going to leave it alone, and that's going to cook for about 20 minutes. In the meantime, we're going to be doing our habichuelas. Okay, so now we're going to have the second part of our meal, which is the habichuelas, which is my favorite. Um, Traditionally, what abuelas and moms do is that they actually have the dry habichuelas where they have to soak it overnight in water, and then the next day they rinse that water out and then boil it again for like about an hour or so, depending on the bean. We don't have to do all of that. We're going to get all of that taste, all of the goodness, all of the habichuela feeling at home in less time than that. I promise you. By the time the rice is done, which is about 20 minutes, that's about a shower. You'll have your habichuelas done, you'll have your rice done, and it's all good from there. So what we're gonna do for the what we're gonna need for the habichuelas are some olives, about 2 big tablespoons of the sofrito, which is right here, Adornos Boricua, where you're gonna see the link where you can buy the sofrito. A little packet of sazon Goya, and this is with achote, and it looks like this. It's gonna give it a little bit of the color. 1 can of the tomato sauce, and 1 can of small red beans, or whatever beans you want to use. One thing to remember with the beans is that right now I went ahead and rinsed it before we started this. I prepped it. You want to, once you open the can, rinse whatever film is in there. They keep it in this liquid. I don't know why, but you got to rinse it out because it doesn't look good. Now here's my secret to this. Traditionally, also what they add to habichuelas is potatoes. The problem with that is going to take a little bit longer for you to boil potatoes and then put the habichuelas to get things done. Let's scratch all of that. Goya now has a yuca, which is casaves, which is awesome. And you don't even have to cook it, you don't have to boil it. It's already done. All you got to do is add it to your pan. And we'll also have some bay leaves. And the other thing that I love that my grandma always put is tocino, which is some sort of ham. It's almost like a mix between ham and bacon. We're not going to use that because it's fattening, but it tastes delicious. So what we are going to use is some smoked ham, and it's going to give us the same texture, the same taste, but it's not going to give us the calories, you know, because we don't want all of that. So let's get started with the habichuela. So what we're going to start is, I have my Teflon pot, so you know I don't want to scratch it too much. We're going to start with the sofrito, and what we want to do is that we want to add it to a preheated pot. You guys can be here right now. It smells so good. And that's one thing about the organic sofritos with Adornos Boricua is that your whole house is going to smell not of bad food, but of delicious food. People are going to want to bite you when you walk down the street. So we're going to add the sazon and the olives. Now this is up to you. If you're not a fan of the olives, then don't do it. I like the olives. It gives it a better taste. I use the ones that have the red peppers inside, so it doesn't have the pit. Because I have bad experiences where I'm biting into the habichuelas and then I end up biting into a pit and I feel like my tooth is about to fall off. So we had the olives and we add the sazon. And we let that cook. What you're going to notice is that the sofrito, which was green because it had all these fresh herbs and ingredients, now it's turning a little bit of the red, and that's the achote that comes in the sazon. And to that, we're going to add the ham. Not the yuca just yet, but the ham. Why do we want the ham? Because you want that ham to get a little bit brown, get caramelized, and get filled with all the flavors. I'm sorry, it smells so good. I just want to eat it right off the pot. It's bad, I know, but it's good. Those of you that love Latino cooking know what I'm talking about. We're going to put a bay leaf in there. There's another little secret about Latino cooking. You want to add as much herbs as you can. That's where the secret comes. That's when you go into a traditional Puerto Rican, Cuban, Colombian, any of these restaurants, and you smell that delicious smell, and you think that you can get it from a little packet that says the Taco Bell packet. You're never going to get that. You know why? Because the real secret is the herbs, the fresh herbs, the delicious dry bay leaves that you put in there, and it's normally cooks slowly, but if you have the right ingredients at home, you'll be able to get the same effect. So I put the bay leaf in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the heat. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. And we're going to add the tomato sauce. Now once I put the tomato sauce in there, I let it simmer a little bit. I also want to add about half of a cup or half of the little container of the tomato sauce. Why? Because once the habichuelas or the beans start cooking, it's going to absorb all of that liquid. And what's going to end up happening is that if you don't have enough liquid in there, you're going to end up with dry beans. And you don't want that, because you want the little juguito, which just means the juice, to like penetrate the rice, and you can mix it up in there. Oh, so good. So good. Okay, so you're going to leave that alone for a little minute. You want all of the flavors to blend together. In the meantime, I can tell you about all of the ingredients that go into the sofrito. We got things like recao, we got cilantro in there, we got ajicitos dulces, and all of this is naturally grown. There's no spices added to any of the herbs that are included in the Adornos Boricua Sofrito. That's why we have the ability to say it's organic. That's why we are confident that once you have this in your home, you're going to love it. And it's not only for Latino cooking, which is what you're going to explore and find out once you start seeing the tutorials. We have pot roast coming, we have all kinds of tacos, all kinds of dips, salad dressings that you can add onto it. This is the kind of thing that you need in every household. And it's pretty cost effective. It's not like it's super expensive. And it will probably, I dare say, replace your spice rack. So now that we have the habichuelas cooking, and we get that little caldito, which is the juice. At this point, if you want to add pique or hot sauce, you can do that. I like to put a little bit of pepper in there because I like the little kick. You don't have to add any salt to it. And now we're going to add the habichuelas and the yuca. I put 1 full can of the habichuelas in there. Mix it a little bit so that it can get coated. Take all the habichuelas out so it can cook real good. And we're going to add the yuca. Now remember, usually you will put potatoes in there, but you will have to boil the potato first so that by the time everything gets cooked together, it's nice and soft. With the yuca, you don't have to do that. That's why we cut in time of cooking. So we add the yuca in there. The best thing about the yuca, since it's also a root, it's starchy, and all of the taste that you put in your juice for the habichuelas is going to soak right in. So every time you bite into a yuca, a little piece of yuca, you're going to just taste everything. The sofrito, the habichuela, the basil leaf, everything. And that's it. You basically put the pot on it, reduce the heat a little bit, and then in 20 minutes, you're going to have rice and beans made at home. Okay, so now it's been 20 minutes later, and we are ready to eat a rice and beans that will be perfectly cooked. So we got the rice, and if you didn't touch it, it should be perfect rice. So let's plate this up, and I'm telling you, you will not go wrong if you follow what I told you. Your rice will not be like, you know, mushy and stuff. It was going to be perfect and delicious. And now we're going to put the beans, which are the superstar of the show here. Look at that. All of the juices. Oh my God, and it smells so good. It's delicious. So you just plate it, put the white rice and some of the beans. Oops, the bay leaf is there. Don't eat that. It's good. Some of the juguito there. And then all you gotta do is put, you know, your favorite pernil or pollo guisado, which we're gonna be doing tutorials here pretty soon, and you'll be doing perfect. So this is Charlotte with Adornos Boricua. Until the next time, enjoy. Buen provecho.